Ever since serious MrBeast allegations came out a few weeks ago, Matt Turnur, the editor that tried to cancel MrBeast in 2019, is currently taking a victory lap about him being right about MrBeast. He's going on the H3H3 podcast demanding apologies from everyone who spoke out against him, even though Matt Turnur's arguments against MrBeast were almost all proven false years ago, and Matt had nothing to do with the monumental collapse of MrBeast's reputation. In this video I will tear apart the terrible H3H3 interview and make it clear to everyone that nobody owes Matt Turnur an apology. But before we get into it, I just want to quickly mention that YouTube Studio tells me that the majority of people watching this aren't actually subbed to the channel, so please subscribe because I'm trying to hit 850 subs this month and we are almost there. Anyway, back to the video. Now, for those of you who don't know, Matt Turnur used to be an editor for the MrBeast channel. He edited MrBeast videos between April and August of 2018 and even briefly featured in some of them.
We're gonna win a game of Fortnite in the middle of the ocean. Yeah! Yeah! Let's do it.
At the time of his mutual departure from the channel, he claimed it was the greatest job he ever had and that he was super grateful for MrBeast allowing him to be a part of his channel. That was until Matt Turnur self-admittedly blew the $10,000 severance check MrBeast gave him for a 3-month trip to Southeast Asia. So after his trip ended, he found himself back in LA with little cash and zero clout, since his vlogging videos gained no traction. So he came up with a genius plan to make some money and clout. He was gonna call out MrBeast for being a terrible person and launch his own YouTube career through this exposed video. Now, just one problem, he actually made a truthful video about how much he enjoyed working for MrBeast, where he mentioned that MrBeast actually still paid him for a couple more months despite Turnur not working for MrBeast anymore, and he even paid for his rent until he was able to find a new place with no rush. Basically, MrBeast alone funded Turnur living in LA.
And he said, alright, you can live here as long as you want. You can literally stay in this like pretty expensive apartment just until you feel comfortable leaving. Don't feel like you're in a rush. Stay as long as you want. Stay for months if you want to. It doesn't matter to us. And he was willing to pay my rent and let me live in that apartment, which I did move out of pretty quickly. However, I had the option to stay there for a long time, which is so insane to let him do. They're still paying me right now. I'm still technically working. I'm not going to give like any numbers or anything. They said we're still going to pay you for a while, and that is basically funding my trip to backpack across Asia, which is so insane. Just like imagine that. He's saying you don't have to work for me, but I'll still pay you, and because of that I hope that lets you live in LA or whatever you want to do, go to college, backpack Asia, whatever you want to do after this. I want to set you up for that. And that's so insane. I'm just thinking about it right now. I've never really thought about it, but if you're watching this, MrBeast, I fucking love you, bro.
Plus, even after Turnur came back, MrBeast got Turnur a new job at Soar Gaming as an editor. So he essentially took care of Turnur way after he left the company to focus on other things. But Turnur wanted clout and attention, so he changed the title of his original video from Why I Quit Working for MrBeast to Why I Quit Working for MrBeast, but all the bad parts are left out. Which was an extremely disingenuous move, by the way, and he then proceeded to attack MrBeast in a new video titled MrBeast's Editor, Full Side of the Story, MrBeast vs Turnur. Now, in that video he made a bunch of terrible points, which I will get to later, while providing close to zero evidence to back up any of his arguments. Now, obviously no one ended up believing Matt Turnur, because his statements were contradictory, his claims were over-exaggerated, and a lot of people from the MrBeast camp defended MrBeast. And most importantly, Matt Turnur had no proof for any of his accusations. Also, he admitted to clout chasing, which is why his credibility almost immediately went to zero. Now, since no one believed his accusations, and some of them were outright proven false, Matt Turnur then proceeded to become a professional dropshipper and produce his regular content again, while occasionally clickbaiting MrBeast in a thumbnail or title. Which is funny because he claimed that he wanted nothing to do with MrBeast, yet he talks about him in literally every third video he makes. And after a while, Turnur even ended up apologizing for trying to cancel MrBeast, and he started a new life living out of a van. After over a year of living in a van, he then applied to be on the TV show Big Brother to become a trash TV star, and he started a carpeting business through the clout that he got from the show. And to be fair, while that is quite an interesting life path, that should be the end of Turnur's story. He should just be someone that made false claims, eventually apologized, and now exists far removed from anything MrBeast related. However, Matt Turnur has experienced a massive resurgence this month due to the Dogpack videos on MrBeast, and since Dogpack actually made decent claims against MrBeast, this proceeded to turn a lot of people against Jimmy and led to a lot of them concluding that Turnur was actually right about MrBeast all along. And the person spearheading this narrative is Ethan Klein from the H3H3 podcast. Now, there exists this whole camp of people who believe that Turnur was right about everything, and if you believe in this opinion, then you should definitely keep watching this video because I will 100% prove you wrong. Now, let's assume that everything Dogpack404 said in his MrBeast videos is completely true for the sake of arguing. Now, that would lead to the conclusion that MrBeast is not a good guy, which is the same conclusion Turnur arrived at, which is why in some people's mind Turnur was right. Now, this take is completely ridiculous because Turnur used a bunch of either flat out lies or unproven arguments to arrive at this conclusion, and none of his arguments sync up with anything that either Jake Waddle or Dogpack404, the people that actually have valid arguments against MrBeast, brought up. This is like claiming that DJ Mule actually made a perfect video essay claiming Xander Hall is a terrible person, since now Xander Hall has been outed through leaked DMs as a deranged abusive guy. Even though DJ Mule's points made no sense, they have all been collectively laughed at by people on the right and left side of the political spectrum, and none of them link up with the reason Xander Hall is now ruining his reputation. Cause Xander Hall abused his editor, but DJ Mule claimed he abused his meth addict girlfriend and lies about political opinions for clout. 2 points that are not only untrue, but also have no correlation to Xander Hall abusing his editor. And I have not seen a single person make the argument that DJ Mule was actually right. So why are people arguing that Turnur is right? Maybe I need to refresh you guys' memory and recap Matt Turnur's arguments against MrBeast. Now, firstly, he claimed that he's falsifying the amount of money that he's giving away in his videos. Then he said that MrBeast is transphobic because of an old clip in one of his videos.
Bro, did you just assume my gender?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to misgender you.
You're such a hellophone. Get out!
He also stated that MrBeast treats his editing team terribly and that he blacklists people that leave his company from the industry. Now, let's address these claims one by one. So firstly, the transphobic accusation can be immediately dismissed since MrBeast supported Chris's coming out last year. The falsifying the amount of money he gives away claim has also never been backed up by anyone in the past 5 years, cause no contestant ever stated that they didn't receive the amount of money that they were promised, and also Dogpack never brought that claim up in his video. So I think it's a safe bet that this was also a false claim. Now, the blacklisting claim has been proven wrong not only by Turnur himself, since MrBeast got him a new job at a massive gaming company after Turnur left, but also by people that have left MrBeast after Turnur, like Jake the Viking for example. He networked with a lot of people after leaving MrBeast, so it's literally impossible to make the argument that MrBeast blacklists everyone who leaves him. Like, you're telling me blacklisted Jake the Viking linked up with Dr. Disrespect at the height of his popularity? Like, that is just complete nonsense. The only claim that could actually be somewhat true would be that MrBeast is mean to his editor's part. Now, I will say, there hasn't been a single person backing up Turnur in over 5 years, so it's just as likely that it was just fabricated, especially since a lot of the other claims have been fabricated as well. But I do want to point out that the abusing editors thing could still be possible, since Turnur's claims actually seem believable from a human-to-human interaction point. Because Turnur said MrBeast called him mentally retarded after he said he needed to take a break from editing by taking a walk while they were on a busy schedule. And I could at least believe that this happened, but again, I don't think that this is necessarily a gotcha, MrBeast is evil situation, since there can be stressful situations in any workplace. Like, I used to be a manager in a restaurant, and if any of my waiters just left randomly during a rush to take a walk, I might be upset too, but that doesn't make MrBeast or me a terrible person. And I do believe that to this day the clearest indication that Matt Turnur's claims were completely untrustworthy, apart from, you know, some of them having been clearly confirmed as false, is Matt Turnur's history of clout chasing and contradicting statements. Because apart from the video Matt made praising MrBeast, Matt also multiple times talked positively about Jimmy in tweets or random YouTube comments where he would have no incentive to lie about his experience. So I do firmly believe that Matt's history of contradicting his statements is the main reason no one believed any of his points, and also the fact that out of MrBeast's editing team, which probably consists of over 50 people at this point, no one apart from Matt Turnur had any problem. So that probably played a role in Matt's lack of credibility as well. Anyway, so most of Matt's arguments have been proven wrong, or they're completely unverified and incredibly unlikely to be true. So if you look at Matt Turnur's arguments and compare them to the ones by Dogpack404, you can clearly realize that not only do they not align at all, but also that Dogpack's arguments seem far more realistic and based on true events. And now with that, I should be able to close out this video if it wasn't for Ethan Klein, the king of terrible takes on the internet. Now, if there is one genre of people I hate on the internet, it's political streamers and news podcasters. Tipster, Caffles, Wash, Hassan, Xanderhall, Decodering, Deathnoodle, Josiah Rises, Keemstar. I hate all of these people with a passion. And I know I probably just pissed off my entire audience with that statement, but I do not care. These people are demons, and the absolute worst of them is a man by the name of Ethan Klein. Someone that I've talked about previously multiple times, and someone who has changed all of his opinions in order to appease his sponsors and maximize his profit. Ethan Klein is the king of bad takes on his podcast. His podcast is full of garbage opinions, and I pity anyone that actually forces themselves to watch that pile of steaming garbage. Now, Ethan Klein has now jumped on the MrBeast hate train, even though they used to be friends, but hey, you gotta stick with the popular opinion no matter the cost. And it would be one thing if he just agreed with the points Dogpack404 was making, because that would be entirely understandable, but instead he agrees with the theory that Turnur was right about MrBeast all along, to the point of him even inviting Turnur on for an interview. Now, this could have been useful, since it would be essential for anyone doing research to know why Matt Turnur didn't bring up any of the stuff Dogpack brought up in his video, even though he was present in the MrBeast team while the Delaware situation was taking place. So the question that everyone wants to know, and every intelligent interviewer would ask here, is why did you not release the information about Delaware being a predator, since you publicly stated that you didn't care about getting sued by MrBeast and just wanted to expose his toxic management to the public? Don't you think that the registered sex offender working as the main manager there should have been mentioned? Now, of course, with Ethan Klein being Ethan Klein, he obviously did not ask this question, and he just let Matt Turnur talk about unnecessary side facts in this entire interview.
The first manager that ever worked there, his name was Dan. Sorry, Dan. And he was actually a really good guy, but everyone was consistently making these jokes wildly inappropriate about his like 5-year-old kid.
Ew.
And so,
Whoa.
I know.
Like what?
And so, like, gonna go home and fuck insert name. Like
What?
the craziest thing.
Who was saying that?
I know. Well, Ava, Jimmy, it was like the thing. It was like funny edgelord kids.
Now, let me clarify this once again. This guy right here, who is currently famous for being on a reality TV show, has a clear history of lying about MrBeast, so we have to take everything he's saying here with a massive pinch of salt. I do think that there's two options here. Either he's lying and this just flat out didn't happen and he's just saying it because he can essentially get away with defaming MrBeast at this moment, since MrBeast has a lot of bigger fish to fry, or he is actually telling the truth, which would be even more hilarious, because then it would mean that Turnur knew all along that there were sex offenders and pedophiles in the MrBeast company, yet he purposely chose to not include that fact in his MrBeast Exposed video, despite stating that he does not care if MrBeast goes after him legally, which would make him an absolutely terrible person. So he would actually look better here if he was just straight up lying for attention, which I do believe is the case, because Turnur got hate from the entire internet in 2019 when he tried to go after MrBeast. So if he had this sex offender smoking gun information available to him back then I am relatively certain that he would have just straight up used it to strengthen his case. So again, this is an attention seeker, very likely lying for clout, since he knows he can get away with it at this very moment, and it's absolutely ridiculous given the history of lying that Ethan Klein does not even try to verify any of these statements.
He couldn't take it anymore, and he took a cameraman and he threw him into the water. Wow. And it was a whole big problem. And so then the next day, he was fired. Delaware came in a week later.
This is absolutely hilarious because he's saying the old MrBeast manager threw a cameraman into the ocean during the filming process of the winning a game of Fortnite in the middle of the ocean video. Yet Turnur included that video as a significant part in his greatest year of my life video, which means in his version of events, the moment where the old manager got fired and replaced with a convicted sex offender was one of the greatest moments in his life. But even looking past that, Matt Turnur filmed this video for MrBeast, meaning that if the cameraman abuse did happen during the shoot, Turnur should 100% have footage of that incident available, especially because he used clips from the recording of this video in his The Best Year of My Life video, which got edited and uploaded after Turnur left MrBeast, meaning Turnur should definitely have footage of this available. So why is he not showing any of the evidence to back up his claims? And more importantly, why is Ethan Klein not asking him to?
I don't think Jimmy had any idea about the meeting up with people. I just don't know. I feel like that was like Ava's dirty secret at the time, but they definitely knew about the lolly. That was like so funny to them. They're like, yeah, look at the lolly Discord. Did you check the lolly Discord?
Oh,
it's like,
shit.
Bro, I know. I was
What?
I had worked there for like 2 weeks when they were like, yo, you mess with lolly, bro.
Now again, this person has a history of lying, so I'm not willing to straight up believe this. But even if I did, again, why did you not mention this history of apparently liking lolly depictions of children in your MrBeast Exposed video? Either you omitted crucial information on purpose for no plausible reason, since the legal aspect of this whole thing was thrown out of the window by Turnur stating that he doesn't care if MrBeast sues him, or you just found out about this information now and you're pretending like you always knew for clout, or you're just making shit up. It's pretty much impossible to confirm anything here, since literally every single statement can be dismissed as hearsay or an accusation with no proof. And I like Ethan's reaction especially.
This is really compelling.
Like, you're talking to a massive clout chaser with a history of lying who's currently only famous for being on trash TV, and you just believe everything he's saying without questioning anything. Again, I think this guy is a clout chaser, and I don't care about people saying, oh, he was such a nice guy in Big Brother, that's why I believe him. I don't care if he was a fan favorite in that show. Maybe he's easy to get along with in that setting, but in the context of MrBeast, he is a proven liar and completely untrustworthy. Even though he might be a nice guy when he's being monitored 24/7 by a film crew on a reality TV show. Now, the interview, or should I say conversation, because Ethan Klein is not asking any relevant questions and just letting Turnur make baseless accusations with no pushback, eventually deteriorates into incomprehensible nonsense, since Turnur at some point realized that if he keeps dropping bombshells like this interview might go viral and probably get him sued. So he started talking in the, oh, we gotta keep this monetized at all costs language, which is just unbearable to me.
And in Minecraft, did you end up hiring the creeper?
The creeper, the person who wanted the creeper didn't have their V-Bucks. And so I had to pull out my V-Bucks to give to this person, which is insane.
So they did acquire the creeper in Minecraft.
So we're talking about child endangerment here, and your main priorities lie with getting monetized. Well, that's pretty typical Ethan Klein, I guess. From this point onward, the conversation becomes very hard to follow and no proper points get brought up, except for the fact that according to Turnur, someone in MrBeast's team paid for a hooker once, which even if true, I wouldn't really care about. So I decided to save you from this nonsense and get to the conclusion. So in conclusion, I think Matt Turnur was on the right path when he distanced himself from MrBeast and he started doing his own thing with his van life series, carpeting business, and even with the idiotic stuff he did like dropshipping or Big Brother. Sorry if this offends you, by the way, it's just my opinion. I don't care about either of these things. Because at least these things weren't related to MrBeast. He was doing his own thing. And I do think that he just needs to keep pursuing his own path, because going after MrBeast would lead to Turnur digging himself his own grave. Since if any like big competent YouTubers looked at this situation, they would cook Turnur alive. Since he has definitely lied multiple times in the last couple of years and his credibility is at 0 at the moment. Any intelligent person can see that he is just after clout, which is why he creates these ridiculous baseless accusations with absolutely 0 proof.